Hello and a warm welcome to NTA Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Olajide Bello. Some of the Nigerian Air Force contingent to the Gambia has returned after ensuring smooth installation of Adama Barrow as the president of that country. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, who was represented, commended the troops' discipline and gallantry in carrying out the ECOWAS mandate. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma, who was in Lagos, now brings us details.
The air assets deployed to the Gambia by the Air Force returned intact, just as it was when they departed on the 17th of January. However, of the 200 officers and men sent on the mission, only about 100 came home. This, the representative of the Chief of Air Staff says, is sequel to the new decision by the ECOWAS to provide security for President Adama Barrow in the next 6 months.
Officers, the contingent commander, air company commander, and some officers are back, and the airmen. We still have some to recover who are still there, and our transport airplanes are there to bring them back.
He said the level of professionalism exhibited by the troops is commendable as they made Nigeria proud, working with the military of other ECOWAS countries to uphold tenets of democracy in the Gambia.
It was nice that we were able to conduct the operation using deterrence and diplomacy. As at the time we went into the State House and the personal house of former President Jamel, I think it was actually very prepared for the war. But for the air power show that scared him, and I think that took control of everything. And gradually, we're also integrating the members of the Gambia Armed Forces into the security arrangement. So this will continue until we're sure the peace is stable, the Gambia is stable. Then, depending on the decision of the ECOWAS leaders, then the troops can be withdrawn.
As they return home to the known security challenge of Boko Haram insurgency, the slogan remains willing, able and ready. From the 301 Heavy Airlift Group, Lagos, Isaac Nkuma, NTA News.
The Peace and Security Commission of the African Union says the fight against terrorism is top priority for the restoration of a congenial and stable environment in the continent. AU Commissioner in charge of Peace and Security said to achieve this, a special fund has been established by the Union. Omeni Oden has the report.
To actualize the plan, which is expected to commence by June this year, a capacity building and planning process is already in place. The Commissioner said AfriPol, which will enhance policing of the continent, will be launched soon. Before then, he explained that a General Assembly of Chiefs of Police and Chiefs of Defense of member states will be held. On the success recorded in the onslaught against Boko Haram by the Nigerian government, as well as the multinational joint task force, he said.
So I want to pay tribute to Nigeria, to Niger, to Chad, to Cameroon and Benin for this contribution. It's also, in a way, a rapid reaction force created by these countries, which is bringing its results. It is mainly based on the resources of these countries.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's Minister of Defense, Monsieur Dan Ali, says
this could be attributed to the Mr. President's will, political will, by providing the logistic support to our armed forces, including the multinational joint task force that was created by him, which has never been done before in terms of carrying our neighbors together.
The African Union is advocating additional assistance by international partners to scale up the coverage of more grounds. Omeni Odan, NT News.
Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has urged the conventional media to brace up to its statutory role guided by professionalism and ethics. The minister stated this when he visited the management of Dar Communications in Abuja. Anthony Forson reports.
The minister explained that the conventional media has come a long way in its tradition of enlightening the people through undiluted and uncensored information. Today, he said the story is different and frowned at the rate with which fake stories have been allowed to dominate the media space.
They may not be credible, but they go viral, and people believe them. And then because people believe these fake stories, this information, is tearing the country apart and dividing us more than it ought to unite us.
Executive Chairman, Dial Communications, Raymond Paul Dokpesi, and the Group Managing Director, Tony Akietu, in their response, assured that Dial Communication, as a partner in progress, will work with government for the common good of the country.
It beholds on us in traditional media to definitely reaffirm our commitments to the highest ethics and standards of journalism, to investigate and fact-check stories before we go to press.
Because we know that the role of the traditional media is sacrosanct. We believe that we are not supposed to feast on stories that are making the rounds in the social media, but we know the inherent dangers in doing so.
Dial Communications has on its table AIT and Repower. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Moving on to the legislature, the National Assembly is advocating a more robust oversight of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to ensure adequate maintenance of road infrastructure across the country for economic development. This came to the fore when the House Committee on FEMA visited the agency on its oversight functions. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nanim reports.
Established in 2002, FEMA has the core mandate of monitoring and maintenance of federal roads across the nation, with the aim of reducing road carnages and improve interstate movement of persons, goods and services. To ensure that funds appropriated for the agency are being adequately utilized, the House Committee on FEMA went on an oversight. Having observed irregularities in the presentation by the agency, especially the duplication of award of contracts on the Abuja-Kaduna Road, which is already being undertaken by the Federal Ministry of Works, the committee demanded explanations.
I was summoned to the ministry and directed that now that they had intervened, we should relocate that contractor to Rijau, Kotangura, which is a very bad road. So that is exactly what we have done.
We discovered that FEMA has become a supermarket where contracts papers are being sold and bought. All the contracts they approved as MD, which are below 5 million. We want to cite the ones approved by PPC, that Procurement Planning Committee, which should have above 50 to 100 million.
The committee also demanded other relevant documents, especially details of the handover notes by former managing director, including how funds are being expended. The acting MD, Peter Ibu, lamented poor funding of the agency, especially in 2016, and urged the committee to effect more funds to the projects of the agency. The committee, however, expressed its resolve to carry out intensive monitoring of road maintenance projects by FEMA in the 6 geopolitical zones to ensure quality service delivery. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The Presidential Council on Ease of Doing Business Reform says it is committed to improving Nigeria's ranking by 20 spaces in the next 5 years. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Olusegun Awolowo, stated this while addressing participants at a national sensitization workshop on trade facilitation in Abuja. Vivian Idekpefo has details.
The World Bank, in its latest report, ranks Nigeria 149 out of 190 countries surveyed globally in ease of doing business. The federal government's ratification of the Trade Facilitation Agreement was intended to streamline trade procedures and reduce costs by an average of 14.3%. Mr. Awolowo, who is also the head of Nigeria's delegation to the United Nations Center for Trade Facilitation and Electronic Business, says the trade facilitation agreement will increase Nigeria's competitiveness, simplify national and international transactions, and contribute to the growth of global commerce.
Particularly, we are more interested in exports, and we're looking at finally getting together and implementing the single window anchored by the Nigerian Customs Services.
Nigeria is doing quite a lot to help businesses grow within Nigeria and attract foreign investment, and also ensure that they're in line with international standards.
Our aim that in the next couple of weeks, visas into Nigeria will be obtained within 48 hours.
Trade advisor to the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Chiedu Osakwe, emphasized the urgency for Nigeria to tap into the opportunities thrown up by the digital economy, which is regarded as the fastest growing in the world. In Abuja, Vivian Itekbefo, NTA News.
The police have begun raids on places where Naira currency are sold, sprayed or squeezed. The Commissioner of Police, Federal Capital Territory, Muhammad Mustafa, says its command has commenced enforcement of the CBN Act, banning abuse of Naira, saying it is illegal to sell, buy or spray Naira at social events. Adino Justice has the details.
Briefing journalists on the outcome of raids carried out so far, Muhammad Mustafa said 4 suspects have been arrested at the Day, Jabi and environs where such illegal operations are carried out. He said about 2 million naira was recovered and warned the public that the enforcement team will continue to monitor social events for people that spread naira as well.
The enforcement committee wants to reiterate its unwavering stance and the readiness to sustain its raiding of the identified areas and some other areas where the naira is being abused.
Meanwhile, the FCT Commissioner has also warned individuals or groups that want to embark on protests to seek police approval for protection to avoid people using such freedom to perpetrate crimes.
A planned nationwide protest slated for 6 February. The command wants to advise the convenience of such protests to jettisoning any plan of carrying out the protests on the streets of the FCT, as it is capable of breaching the peaceful atmosphere we are all enjoying.
He however advised that the public will still explore police mechanism of resolving conflicts. In Abuja, Adino Justice, NTA News.
The federal government is calling for more support and partnership from corporate organizations and individuals as it strives to entrench a better water resource management in Nigeria. This was in a message by Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu to the General Assembly of Partners of the Global Water Partnership Nigeria. Musbao Danwahab reports.
Policymakers and relevant agencies have been grappling with how to harness the abundant water resources in Nigeria for final domestic and industrial uses. But hard as they seem to try, the challenges are still enormous. From rapid population growth to socio-economic development as well as climate change, the evolving challenges facing water resources management in Nigeria require a multidimensional approach.
It's the sort of approach that makes sure that water is managed in a sustainable manner and in an equitable manner and in an efficient manner for the benefit of society.
A lot of people look at water resources as an issue for government, but that's not what it is.
The Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamu, says the necessity of partnership to water resources development and management, already recognized at different international fora, must be domesticated.
It is therefore imperative that the government agencies should not be left alone to manage water.
How to further strengthen the existing framework for better results on integrated water resources management is among issues to be tackled as the Global Water Partnership Nigeria holds its General Assembly. In Abuja, Musbao and Wahab, NTA News.
This is NTA Nationwide. We now link up with our Lagos Network Center for more stories from that zone. Good afternoon, Ademola.
Yeah, good afternoon, Olajide, and warm welcome to Lagos.
The European Union has set up a pool of funds for African entrepreneurs with a view to unlock online opportunities which abound across the European Union countries. The Vice President European Union disclosed this to the media in Lagos. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
The Vice President European Union, Andros Ansip, said the idea behind setting up the pool of fund was to stimulate the development of the huge digital potential of the African continent. He said the European Union has put aside 44 billion euros with the objective of creating a digital single market in Africa.
Africa is priority for the European Commission, and we would like to build up healthy economies also in developing countries.
The EU Vice President pointed out that the creation of the digital single market should not be misunderstood as a protectionist tool, but a platform that will provide equal opportunities for EU and African entrepreneurs.
I would like to declare my openness to that kind of cooperation between African countries and the European Commission, between African entrepreneurs and European entrepreneurs.
The media parley was a follow-up to a meeting with indigenous entrepreneurs. In Lagos, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has rearranged Major General Emmanuel Atawe and 3 others over 8.5 billion naira before the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos. Viera Chimoba reports that they were rearranged before Justice Faji.
Other accused persons are the former Director General of NIMASA, Patrick Apoblokeni, Ken Ngonzu, and Josephine Utuaga. The accused persons are standing trial on an amended 22-count charge bordering on the offense. The rearrangement was sequel to the transfer of the former judge, Justice Saliu Seidu, from Lagos to Port Harcourt Division of the Federal High Court. The accused persons were rearranged before Justice Faji and their pleas taken afresh. They were, however, allowed to continue on the earlier bail terms following application of defense counsels. At the last adjourned date, a prosecution witness, Adamu Yusuf, had told the court how the accused persons converted about 4.9 billion naira into dollars using different companies and accounts. The witness had further testified that during investigation, letters were sent to the banks used to launder the money, demanding statement of account of beneficiaries. The court has fixed February 13th and 17th for commencement of trial. In Lagos, Viera Chumba, NTA News.
And that does it from Lagos. It's back to you, Olajide, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Moving on now. The body of vehicle inspection officers has resolved to bring back the glory of Nigeria driver's license in compliance with global best practice. Chairman of the National Conference Directors and Chief Traffic Officer of the Federation, Alhaji Garba Abdul, stated this during a media briefing in Abuja on the body's determination to switch from oral to written computer-based test for existing and prospective drivers before obtaining their driver's license. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
The acting chairman said the body of VIOs are concerned about the statistics of crashes and carnages on the Nigerian roads, mostly caused by human factor, among which is ignorance of the highway code. As such, the decision to introduce computer-based tests for all drivers and their vehicles to ascertain their professional competence and roadworthiness, which they hope to achieve from 1st of June 2017.
If the drivers are properly trained and tested, there will be a drastic reduction in accident rate in Nigeria. So we need to train our drivers.
While calling on all state governments and stakeholders to support this initiative, he said the VIO remains the only organization empowered by law to conduct tests and recommend individuals for driver's license.
It is the role of VIOs, or road traffic officers, to conduct theoretical tests as well as a practical test before referring successful candidates to FRSC. 75% of the driver license in Nigeria are fake. That is what we are trying to just stop.
The body suggested that the 5-year tenure for driver's license be reviewed to 3 years in order to periodically update the status of drivers. In Abuja, Abdullahi Hajia, NTA News.
Now to judicial matters, the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge, has called on Nigerians to allow President Muhammadu Buhari a free hand to perform his constitutional duties concerning the appointment of a substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. In a statement by the Office of the Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge stated that he believes the President does not need any threat or ultimatum to perform his constitutional duties and called for caution in the so-called agitation for his confirmation. While appreciating the interest of Nigerians in the process of the Chief Justice of Nigeria's appointment, the Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria dissociated himself from the individuals and groups issuing threats and ultimatums to the President. The statement, which was signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the Acting CJN, Awasam Basi, said, while the headship of the third arm of government is important, issuing ultimatum and threats smacks of disrespect to the office of the President. The Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria affirmed that all the steps so far taken were still within the ambit of the law and called for greater support for the federal government in the fight to make the country a better place. Preparatory to the kickoff of the cash transfer scheme of federal government's social investment program, the National Society Social Safety Nets Coordinating Office, NASCO, has begun training of community-based targeting teams in 6 local government areas of Anambra State. Joy Iluibu has the details.
The local government areas, which include Anyamelum, Anambra West, Oka North, Dunukofia, Ihiala and Orumba South, were selected based on the World Bank poverty mapping. The purpose is to adequately train community-based target teams and staff on how to identify and upload data of poor and vulnerable households into the social register to facilitate safe transfer of 5,000 naira monthly to these households. Speaking during the training program, Secretary to the Anambra State Government, Professor Solochukwu Lebele, said the program is apt, given the desire of Nigerians for a new lease of life. National Coordinator Andrew Adejo enjoined the participants to understand the key principles of the program.
But the important thing is that government must, at every point in time, look at how it takes care of its aged people. Those, due to no fault of theirs, cannot have viable means of livelihood.
Particularly, the federal government is serious with moving ahead with Anambra State. The cash transfer has started in those 8 states, and the federal government giving a clear directive, go to the east, give us a state.
We have provided office accommodation with working tools to this unit. The state has constituted community-based targeting team across the 6 pilot LGAs.
Some of the participants said the process requires credibility and dedication on their part.
Because time is not much on our side, they go immediately to various local governments and start the work of identifying the poor and the vulnerable.
This training is based on the community, but it will be given the kind of the blueprint on how to go about it.
The Social Investment Cash Program is aimed at reducing extreme poverty in the country. In Oka, Joy Iluebu, NTA News.
Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima has urged the military and security agencies to ensure anyone with evidence of negative links with Boko Haram insurgents is made to face justice, even if the accused happens to be any of his biological children. He said some insurgents living outside the battlefront, as well as those supporting them, mostly conceal their identity, making it sometimes impossible for innocent citizens to identify them. As a result, the citizens may associate with them without knowing what they do behind.
We must remind ourselves that the recapture of Sambisa supporters and the flushing out of the terrorists from most of their former enclaves does not mean that our struggle is over.
As the saying goes, nothing good comes easy. Ask any successful man or woman and he will reel out sacrifices that they had to make. And that also goes for longevity, or how long one lives on Earth. Although life expectancy in Nigeria is said to be gradually picking up, guests on Good Morning Nigeria unanimously agreed that a number of factors predispose one to the quality of life. Lydia Sampson reports.
40 to 50 years, it's okay for me. 100.
Wow. 80 years and above.
Some people in Abuja are responding to the question how long they wish to live on Earth. For many people, long life will mean living beyond a particular benchmark. For guests on Good Morning Nigeria, it's way beyond 70 years. But as the saying goes, if wishes were horses, everyone will ride. Statistics from World Health Organization reveal that life expectancy varies from country to country. Comparatively with other developed countries, WHO ranks Nigeria low at 55 for women and 54 for men. Evaluating reasons for the disparity, guests on Good Morning Nigeria points at various socioeconomic factors, including income inequality, poor primary health care system, and poverty.
For any society to have good life expectancy, or good life generally, your women must be educated. There's no argument about it. There's no magic about it. When you have an educated woman, she brings up an educated family.
The guests also hint at globalization, particularly influence on Western education on our dietary habits and its impact on quality of life.
You know, before we eat pounded yam, we eat less processed food and so
later
at night. But we wake up in the morning, we go to the farm, you know, we work hard, or we trek, as you said, from far, we burn them. But now you want to eat pounded yam, early in the morning you come out, you enter your car, you are going to NTA, you stretch your leg in the air-conditioned room, then you go back again, you say, Madam, I want pounded yam again, you end up with diabetes.
While urging government at all levels to pay more attention to recreation, immunization, and care of children from age 5, they also admonish individuals to nurture their health by eating right. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Let's pause for some messages. Nationwide continues after this short break. Stay with us.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
On a white sheet of exam paper, I am calm like a sniper, bam like a piper, glam like a rapper. I'm never a slacker.
Fail like a failure.
How was your result?
This wicked girls here gave me.
Then give me.
They gave me 7 E's.
This week on your award-winning comedy series, Professor John Bull, starring Kanayo Okanayo, Mercy Johnson, Queen Wokoye, Yomi Fashlanso, Stephen Odingbe.
Address me as the Ono. My title is waiting for me.
Oh no, we're waiting.
Ono. Mr. Owowu. Mbano, I can't take that. Olowu. Hey, I don't like all this.
What is that name they call you all over the campus?
Flashball with a big splash, depending on how you want to lash.
Big name that kills a small dog.
Professor John Bull, fasten your seatbelts this Tuesday and Friday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. on NTA Network, International, and Star Times. It's absolutely bombastic.
Over and out.
Welcome to the new speed of life.
The federal government's social investment program has begun. The poorest and most vulnerable in the land get 5,000 naira monthly, and phase 1 has started in 9 states of the federation. 200,000 unemployed graduates have been engaged in the N-Power Volunteer Corps designed to engage 500,000 people. 5.5 million children will be fed regularly in the homegrown school feeding program, which kicked off in 3 states last year, with 9 more to be added this year. And under the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, GEEP, thousands of cooperatives, market women, farmers and enterprising youth have been receiving between 10,000 and 100,000 naira soft loans since November 2016. The Social Investment Program has begun. It can only get better. We promise change. Change is here.
Do you crave class? Do you have taste? And do you care about comforts? If you do, then for your next event, a stay away from home, a business trip, or a holiday, visit Jade's Hotel at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. Check out our world-class services, exquisite suites, restaurant and bar, gymnasium, spa and grills, and our outdoor catering services and cuisines. At Jade's, it can only be better. For bookings and reservations, visit us today at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja, or visit www.jadeshotels.com. Our email address is info@jadeshotels.com.
You can also call us on 09291-9321 or 0810-909-7956.
Jade's Hotels, welcome to life.
NTA Television College JOS offers a variety of well-developed curriculum, namely Bachelor of Science degree in Mass Communication, Television Production, and Bachelor of Science degree in Mass Communication, Television Journalism. We also offer diploma certificates in Film and Television Production, Broadcast Journalism, and Television Engineering. NTA Television College JOS offers a range of short proficiency courses such as Computer Graphics and Animation, Principles and Practice of Marketing, English Grammar and Pronunciation for Broadcasters, Specialized Reporting, Intermediate Television Presentation Technique, and many more. For further inquiries, contact the Academic Office, NTA Television College, Rayfield JOS. Call us on 080-6980-9807 or 070-366-07155 or email us on ntacollege@gmail.com. NTA Television College JOS.
Training you to be the best you want to be.
For over 25 years, I have been privileged to anchor various programs on television. But the news program that I find most exciting and challenging is The Weekend File. This is largely because of its philosophy of engaging all classes of people, the artisans, politicians, technocrats, captains of industry, and professional analysts on issues that touch all aspects of life and living. In the conversations that follow, you find complexities, different views, ideologies, thought patterns, and individual beliefs. It's quite engaging. We do this Saturdays on NTA Network Service at 9 p.m. It's Weekend File, but you call it Weekend Companion, and it's all about nation building. Join me, Kirian Umayo, and production crew every Saturday for this weekend treat, and I can tell you that it is unmissable. Make it a day.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is NTA Nationwide. Nasmao is standing by in our Sokoto Network Center with reports from that zone. Hello, Asmao. It's over to you.
Hello, Olajide. Good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abakar III has called on youth corps members to engage in self-reliant ventures during their service year. He made the remark when he hosted the 2016 Batch B Stream 2 Youth Corps members at his palace. Jabi Ibrahim Lele Dabori has the report.
Sultan Muhammad Saad Abakar III, who described the NYSC scheme as a unifying initiative among Nigerians, encouraged them to intensify researches to broaden their knowledge during their service year. He told them to feel at home in Sokoto, being the most peaceful state in the country, and honor religious and cultural norms of their host communities. Sultan Saad Abakar III urged them to work hard in their various assignments and assured them that he will reward corps members that excel in their duties.
So we're all one big family here, and you will get to see that, you will get to know
And one of my challenges to you is go out into the villages and towns and all the nooks and crannies of this state.
The Sokoto State NYSC coordinator Alhaji Musa Abubakar told the Sultan that they were at his palace to present the 2016 Batch B Stream 2 Youth Corps members posted to the state for his blessings. He acknowledged the Sultan's support to the NYSC scheme in the state and called for its sustenance. The occasion featured questions and answers between the Sultan and the Youth Corps members. In Sokoto, Jebe Lela Dabore, NTA News.
The Nigeria Immigration Service is to establish a West Africa Immigration Management Institute in Tuga, Bagudo local government area of Kebbi State. The Controller General, Nigeria Immigration Service, Muhammad Babandidi, disclosed this shortly after inspecting the facility, expected to be utilized in establishing the institution. Nuratan Kwakili completes the story.
The facility, which was Julius Berger base, was handed over to the Immigration Service 27 years back for utilization, but was abandoned, which led to its dilapidation. It contains over 120 houses, office accommodation, borehole and water treatment plant, as well as airstrip in addition to its strategic location by neighboring Niger and Benin republics. The Controller General said establishment of the institute is in line with his vision to ensure training and value orientation of officers and men towards effective service delivery in line with the present administration change mantra.
I'm transforming the service. As you are aware, you can only transform the service when you transform the men.
The institute, he said, when established, will equally enhance synergy between sister agencies within the sub-region. The Controller General also inspected ongoing projects at Kangiwa and Digeri border post, which he said will soon be completed and put to use. At the Kebbi State headquarters of the service, Muhammad Babandede assured officers and men of his commitment to their welfare and regular promotion, adding that the service will not tolerate corruption and other unethical conduct. The Controller General was also at the Kebbi State Government House, the palace of Emir of Gondu and his Argungu counterpart, as well as Bahindin Bagudo, where the leaders expressed happiness over the development and promised to cooperate and support the service in actualizing the project. The institute, when established, will be the first of its kind within the West African sub-region. In Benin, Kebbi, Nuratan Kwakili, NTA News.
And that's our package from Sokoto. Nationwide continues with Olajide in Abuja. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Asmao. Moving on now. Nigeria and Portugal are working out modalities for a partnership in the development of small Earth observatory satellites to strengthen the nation's capacity in satellite operations. The partnership arrangement was reached during a meeting between Portuguese Minister of Science and Technology and Higher Education and the Director General of National Space Research and Development, NASDA, in Abuja. Science correspondent Kirian Umeayo reports.
The visit to Nigeria's space agency by the Portuguese Minister of Science, Technology and Higher Education enabled him to appreciate the level of space technology development in Nigeria and share professional knowledge with the nation's space engineers.
Nigeria has the largest space program in Africa, and we are promoting together with other African, Latin America and European countries an Atlantic International Research Center, essentially to combine space technology with ocean technology towards a better understanding of Atlantic interaction so that we can better understand the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations.
Director General of NASDA, Professor Seydou Mohamed, is optimistic that specific areas of the partnership with the Portuguese Space Agency are vital to the development of NASDA.
We'll be talking about the new space vision. We're happy that Portugal, which is part of the European Space Agency platform, is discussing on this. We're particularly happy to welcome that idea. We welcome them and we are willing to partner in the new direction.
The next meeting on the Space Technology Partnership will hold in Portugal in April. Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
The 31st edition of the National Quranic Recitation Competition has commenced in Ilorin, Kwara State capital, with a call on Islamic scholars to encourage the correct interpretation of the Noble Quran in order to save citizens from being misguided by radical teachings. Aliu Tukur has the details.
The competition, which is organized by Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, is aimed at promoting sound Islamic education and moral consciousness, especially among youth, in order to address restiveness. President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by Minister of Communications, Abdurrahim Adebayo Shitu, urged participants and the Muslim faithful to put into practice the true teachings of the Quran and Prophet Muhammad so as to contribute positively to nation building.
Muslims deserve to continue to service their souls, just like we service our cars and other machinery.
I call on Muslims and Christians to avoid mutual suspicion and work together for peace and harmony of Kwara State. Muslims and Christians can collaborate and provide strategies to move our state and country forward.
The competition is divided into 6 categories for both male and female. For the male category, those above 25 years are not allowed to compete, while the female category is open to all age group. Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
Adherence to Islamic responsibility of marriage as an institution and the need for proper upbringing of children for realization of a better Islamic community and by extension the entire nation was the focus of the Jumat sermon delivered by Chief Imam of Area 10 Jumat Mosque, Sheikh Yahya Garba. Abdullahi Aminu reports.
The sermon highlighted the significance of marriage and responsibilities upon which parents will be guided against disrupting the future of their children through proper Islamic teachings. The Chief Imam, while enumerating dangers associated with the high rate of divorce in Nigeria, called on parents, teachers and religious leaders to work together towards enlightening not only Muslims but adherents of other religions for the betterment of the country in general.
In Islamic perspective, when you get married, you have 50% of what? Of your religion. So having that one in your mind will assist you to execute all the duties and responsibility. Second, lack of submission from the side of women.
Imam rightly advised mothers of bringing the family, since they are the first people to build the next generation.
If you really want your children or your societal upbringing, it lies only on women.
Respecting and keeping secrets of one another in marriage and the need for respect of rights of partners were among other Islamic responsibilities of both a husband and wife highlighted in the sermon. In Abuja, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
Time now to join Agatha in our Benin Network Center for more news. Hello, Agatha.
Lajide, good evening and many thanks for joining us in Benin. Benin State Governor Godwin Obaseki has flagged off the construction of the Agbede Anwan Road in Isako West local government area. Victor Odionacha reports.
Every rainy season does to bring out their farm produce to the nearest markets. The state government has now come to the rescue as it has commenced the construction of the road. Governor Godwin Obaseki said the 29-kilometer project is a fulfillment of his campaign promise to the people.
I will bring investor from no roads to the place. So our goal is, beginning from this season, we want to start to bring investors to come do farm for this place. By the grace of God, when they finish it, and we have more money, we'll take it to Amma and then connect back to Rome.
To the residents, it is a dream come true.
And I'm really elated that this is one of the early promises Obaseki is fulfilling.
I'm happy today the road is being constructed by the present governor. I will not forget it.
The project is expected to be completed in 24 months. In Agbede, Victor Odion Acha, NTA News.
Heads of stations under the NTA Benin Network Center converged on Benin to brainstorm on ways of enhancing television production in the zone. Udwakobong Achibong reports.
together assistant directors in the zone, general managers and officers in charge of the various stations under the zone to review their works, identify challenges and come up with ideas for effective service delivery. The Zonal Director of NTA Benin Network Center, Mrs. Pauline Igbano, appreciated the roles of participants in utilizing human and material resources for effective coverage of Edo and Ondo governorship elections, as well as the coronation ceremonies of the Oba of Benin.
We will put a report together and send to the DG from the perspective of the zone. And then we'll also expect the general managers and the OICs to go back to their station and communicate decisions and resolutions that we have reached here today. And we follow up with visit to the station.
Some of the participants expressed their determination to take their stations to greater heights.
Some of the things that we've been told here in terms of our contribution to the network, both news and their programs, how to really enhance our content, definitely that will be addressed.
When I go back to my station, I'm going to call the programs and news department and let them know the task ahead of them.
I've been able to see the importance of encouraging my news reporters to do special reports, special programs, what will make the community that we are transmitting to always love to watch our station.
In Benin, Ugakobong Achibong, NTA News.
And the prolonged power outage in Ikare, Akoko, Ondo State is affecting water supply and distribution in the area. Abiodun Oladepo has the report.
Water is one of the basic and daily needs of every man, plants and animals. But as important as water is to the living, potable water is usually scarce during the dry season. The scarcity is a bit harder in towns like Akoko because of its topography. Residents will travel some distances in search of drinkable water.
Yeah, I used to come here every 2 weeks. There's no good drinkable water in the city.
The water is very, very scarce. It's only this place that everybody is getting water.
The situation is a bit compounded now than before, as the whole of Akoko, now in darkness and without electricity to power, little number of boreholes available. Such boreholes are dug privately in different houses or by politicians in strategic areas of the town.
In most cases, if it is faulty, it is we people that live or works around this place that usually contribute money to get it right.
And at times, the bore will get faults. We will call them in local government. They are not ready to cooperate with us. We have to gather money together in our environment to do the bore.
Few residents who use water for their businesses now depend on tanker or water battery in towns. They all appealed to concerned authority to take drastic steps that can ameliorate the suffering and make potable water available to reduce cases of waterborne diseases. In Ikare, Abiodun Oladepo, NTA News.
That's it from here. Olajide, it's back to you for the rest of News Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Agatha, there in our Benin Network Center. Moving on now, the Commissioner of Police in Bauchi State, Ahmed Zaki, has appeared before a House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating allegations of harassment, intimidation and gross breach of constitutional rights of some indigents and residents of the state by the State Police Command brought before it. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports.
Former Governor of Bauchi State, Issa Yuguda, and other groups had petitioned the ad hoc committee alleging harassment by the Bauchi State Police Command on his person and other of his political allies. Following cordoning off of the former governor's residence, the Commissioner of Police explains that his actions were based on intelligence on a potential breakdown of law and order, explaining that protecting the former governor's residence and safeguarding lives and property was a top priority. He said 300 persons on motorbikes heading to Yuguda's house were intercepted, with 4 arrested and charged to court.
So I didn't block the house for people not to have access to him. The situation on the ground demands that I should protect him. Nobody should downplay security situation. Anything that has to do with security should be taken very seriously.
The Commissioner of Police also debunked allegations of harassment by Yakubu Jibrin of the Bauchi Coalition Against Financial Crimes, a former Commissioner Shehu Barau Ningi, and President of the National Union of Bauchi State Students, Nasiru Nuhu Chigari. The committee led by Gabriel Onyemwefe, however, picked holes in his submissions.
One of the issues raised was that the Bauchi state government was being unnecessarily antagonistic. And on traveling to Bauchi, instead of being welcome, he was falsely imprisoned. These were his own allegations. And so many other people corroborated that, saying how they were falsely imprisoned either outside or inside the former governor's house.
The hearing will resume on February 16th to allow for presentations from the Secretary to the Bauchi State Government, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, and Special Assistant to the Governor on Students' Matters. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
The Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, and POPSI, Benedict Upang, is urging Nigerians to embrace the proposed census project as a means of helping the Buhari's administration for appropriate data to build the economy for self-reliance. He explained this as part of his mandate after he was sworn into office. He reiterated commitment and loyalty in the discharge of his duties to contribute his quota through the provision of accurate and effective data for national development. Commending President Buhari's administration's drive towards revamping the economy and restoring Nigeria to its pride of place, Benedict Upang called on Nigerians to be more prayerful and supportive for the full implementation of the change agenda to be realized.
I will bring in my wealth of experience, both in engineering, both in integrity, both in loyalty, to bear, to make sure that all the core mandate of NPC is carried out satisfactorily.
Describing census as a veritable tool for national development and planning, Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly, Senator Ita Enang, appreciated President Buhari for giving Akwa Ibom an opportunity to serve at the national level to contribute to the nation's growth and development.
What they should expect is that the experience he's had as a civil servant, thoroughbred in procedure, as an engineer, thoroughbred in technicality, and as an experienced community leader, he will bring all this to bear on population enumeration in Nigeria.
The commissioner, who is an engineer, received support from the people of Akwa Ibom State, his state, wishing him the best to have a broader outlook with his new national assignment in Abuja. And on to global tidbits. Deadly flood hits South Africa as U.S. plans to deploy missile defense system in South Korea later in the year. Let's join Ogechi Paul on global tidbits.